Greetings, all. This is my 8th Air Force bomber kit. I portray a bombardier flying a B-17. I portray the rank of 2nd lieutenant, and this is all the gear that I would wear, minus the flight boots, at 30,000 feet altitude on a bombing mission. So let's get started. Down here. This is the parachute harness. It's an RAF harness, the observer harness, as the Air Ministry marks. The 8th Air Force, when they got in England early on and throughout the war, often acquired harnesses from the Royal Air Force. And this is one of those that would have been acquired. This is a reproduction made by the Rigger Depot, Joshua Dijon. Really, really nice reproduction. Even has the Urban Airshoot Corps markings and all the stamps. Another Rigger Depot reproduction is this first aid pouch. I acquired the necessary contents, including a tourniquet, morphine syringe, and a bandage. That was what would have been in there. This is the first pattern. There was a second pattern. The second pattern is the one you usually see on later in the war. So this is what would have been seen around there. I don't have the chute. I probably won't get the chute because while they were in the confines of the aircraft, they wouldn't wear it, only if they needed to exit the aircraft, if it was hit or going down. Would they grab the chute and clip it onto these? This was a better design because it wouldn't like pull on your chest when you got out, and it was very easy to release because you see these and all the fabric here. That would have launched out above you and the parachute would be above you, so you could just turn the knob and take the chute right off. Much more simpler than the AN6513 used by the US during this time period. Moving on, this is my headgear. This is an M1 helmet. The chin strap's not correct, and it's a rear seam, which likely wouldn't have been seen around there. I have some front seams, but I have not restored them. I think this is post-war Korean paint or something like that. I don't know. Under that are B7 flight goggles. I want to say these are made by What Price Glory. I could be mistaken. I bought them on the secondhand market a while ago, and it's just what I've been using because it's a nice for early war. The oxygen mask is you can see it's very beaten. It's a What Price Glory reproduction. Sadly, they discontinued these a while ago. I've had it ever since I started Air Force reenacting. It is beaten. I had to replace the bladder and everything, and the mask is starting to harden over, sadly. Which is why I have this. I made this out of a NOS body myself. It's a post-war hose, but very similar to World War II. Post-war nozzle, which I might try to get an original and replace because it's not the best. But I wear it. It's good to wear. I sometimes bring that out, but most of the time I'm switched to this. I made the straps. I'm happy with the cam buckles and the double snaps I made, but I want to replace the straps themselves because they're thin and not really correct. So I might do that soon. But if you can get a body like this, it's a good alternative to using like an old original. The flight helmet is made by a company called 5 Star Leather. I'm happy with it. It's quite good. It fits the receivers in there. I added buttons on the side. They don't come with these to attach the A10 mask. It's pretty easy to do with just a simple button kit. I think I got the buttons on Amazon, but they're pretty much the same as we've been used wartime. It has everything. It has the straps or the connectors for the A9 mask, which I don't have, but they weren't really issued anyways because they were quickly phased out by the later A10s and the A14. The throat microphone is an original T30, and it's also connected to an original SW141V push-to-talk switch. You would press down on this and you could communicate with your fellow comrades in the aircraft. You could lock it in and you could talk continuously if you wanted to. Moving on. This is a B3 life preserver, the earlier iteration before the B4. This is a reproduction made by What Price Glory. You can see good stamps. The font's a little weird on this. I may try to get it out with like nail polish remover or something. Just have it blank, which is often seen. But I'm okay with it for now. I might get a B4 and just use that in the future, an original. Moving on, what I would wear maybe on the ground or during takeoff is a crusher cap. This is a really, really nice reproduction made by Society Brand Hat Company. The best on the market by far. He doesn't make them too much anymore, but if you can get one, I'd highly, highly recommend it. It's better than anything out there. Practically an original, just made today. Even has the entirely correct Bancroft and the Flighter logo, all as it would have been in the 1940s. So practically perfect. So if you can get one, he doesn't make him too much, but you can find him on the secondhand market sometimes. I see him pop up on eBay from time to time, and if you can get it in your size, by far the best. Next, which was what I would wear over these if I was taking off or whatever, or at low altitudes, are these HB7 earphone set with R14 receivers, all original. I may try to get a different one and get reproduction earphones because these are original and they're a little crusty and I don't want to damage it any further. Moving on, these are what I would wear as the undergarments, like under everything. I'd put these on first, or like long underwear and long sleeve underwear shirt. You can get these anywhere. There was no specific like style that they would have worn back then. Pretty much they varied, and I think I got these on like from Walmart or something. So those are pretty easy to get. These are just standard wool gloves. They would have worn these under everything. So like you did have these on their hands before they put any other stuff on. Just standard brown gloves. I think I got these at Walmart as well. Moving on into the bit more complicated stuff. This is a F1 electrical suit. In the Air Force reenacting community, these are rather hard to come by. I believe this was a prop used for the series Masters of the Air. And it's perfect. It doesn't function, so I guess it's not perfect, but looks absolutely incredible. Even has the labels. I believe Deeber Brander, I think, made these for Masters of the Air. I think they sold them for a little bit, like non-used ones for a little bit after. But I don't know if they sell them anymore. So if you can get one of these, it's perfect. It has like all the correct like connection points and everything that would have been present on the originals, and the wire and the stitching pattern is all pretty much perfect. And like it's like thick too, and it is awesome. I love it. It even has the hole you could unzip if you needed to urinate on the aircraft out the bomb bay door. They normally would have had F1 electrical gloves with this, and they would have had a wire that would have plugged into here. They could have used E1 gloves as well for the other 12 volt from the other 12 volt suits of the B-24, but these are F2 gloves, and no one reproduces the F1, so I'm okay with these. They're fine by me. I think JG Aviation makes those. Down here, they would have had corresponding D1 electrical boots, but no one makes those, so I just usually go without those. I've been working on trying to make one myself, but so far I've just been without them. Moving on to the outer clothing, the shearling stuff. Up here we have a B3 flight jacket. This is the heavy shearling. This was made by 5-Star Leather, and I'm happy with it. Thoroughly happy with it. They're like really good for, I mean, they're still expensive, but good for the price. If you're on a budget, kind of like me and can't afford the ones made by like Eastman or whatever, these are really good. They get the job done. They're quite accurate. They even have a very nice drawing order label. And these are the corresponding A3 flight pants, also made by 5-Star Leather. Have the correct suspenders and another accurate name label, or not name label, Air Force contract label. These are the A9, well, these are A9A. This would not have been correct for that early. These were introduced in April 1944, I believe. So you wouldn't have seen these in my time period, but they're very close to the A9s that would have been present at this time period. So I just use them for now. I have them, and they get the job done. If you don't really look at the label, you wouldn't really be able to tell. So that's that. They're original. On the boot, they would have had A6 flight boots. I've been looking for these for a while. I don't want to use originals because most of those are falling apart, and as of now, no one reproduces them, which sucks. But I think Quartermaster Inspector is working on making a pair, and if he can get those out, I will 100% get those and use them. But for now, I just use work boots, really, because I don't have the electrical boots either. So I just use like work boots. It's not accurate at all, but, or I don't use work boots. I use the service shoe that would have been in the Class Bs they would have worn, and it's not accurate, really. Your feet would have froze at that height, but I just work with what I got for now. So that's it. I'm thinking of getting a 1911 too, because the officers would have been issued in them, and the bombardier would have needed it to shoot the bomb site if they went down, so the Germans wouldn't get it, even though they already had it, or had it since like 1937. But yeah, that's that. I have another video of me wearing all this and showing you how it all fits together if you want to check that out. But for now, I'll see you later. Maybe I'll show my Luftwaffe impression in the near future when I round that out a little bit. But thanks for watching, guys. That's about it.